Bank fraud, United States Treasury bonds. Information provided to H.E. Cardinal Mamberti and the Vatican Chancery Court regarding our claims March 6, 2005, January 19, 2023 in Seek. In truth, the British Crown and Municipal Corporation banks have been bankrupt since the 1930s, yet have been allowed to continue operations, giving rise to one of the most extraordinary fraud schemes and abuses of power ever witnessed anywhere on earth. Having unlawfully presumed upon and rolled the assets of the nation's state governments into public trusts controlled and used for the benefit of the perpetrators, there were no hard assets available to back a banking system. So, the British Crown Subcontractors latched upon the cargo of our purportedly missing ship of state. They refunded their bankrupt bank operations on our bodies identified as cargo in their modern-day bottomry bond scheme. To top it off, they built this system on public bonding and credit, all leveraged on future payments, which of course are never paid. Meantime, the municipal corporation latched upon the labor-related property resources of the living people as part of the so-called public trust interest, and have issued child labor contracts in our names. In both cases, the resulting slave bonds have been used as assets to fund the respective banks and other franchises of these hopelessly corrupt subcontractors. The United States Treasury, aka IMF, INC, issues United States Treasury bonds, based on these labor bond assets that the Federal Reserve has purloined indiscriminately from federal employees and rank-and-file Americans alike. The Federal Reserve then buys back the United States Treasury bonds at a substantial discount. This Fed discount is the kickback owed by the IMF to the Federal Reserve for their part in the scheme. These United States Treasury bonds are fronted via literal bondage contracts in the form of performance bonds assessed against British Crown subcontractors and child labor contracts promoted by the municipal subcontractors. The performance bonds result in a form of slavery still enforced under Admiralty law, and the municipal child labor contracts result in more slave bonds owed future payment. Thanks to the unlawful conversion scheme that created millions of unauthorized British Crown and municipal franchises operated in our names, this secondary fraud scheme has been applied to Americans in general simply by misaddressing them as foreign franchises and issuing both performance bonds and child labor contracts related to them. None of this is ever disclosed to the federal employees, much less the American general public, and it results in illegally obtained assets being used to support issuance of what appear to be public bonds, but which are in fact issued by the IMF, INC. In the name of the United States Treasury, a trademark asset of our American Federal Republic illegally sold by executors de son tort to the International Monetary Fund in 1924. The British Crown Corporation subcontractors and Municipal Corporation subcontractors were thus continually refunded by bonding our labor and the labor of their own employees and dependents, to pay for their debts, and it was all done non-consensually, without disclosure to anyone. Our foreign municipal subcontractors and British Crown subcontractors should have fully informed their actual employers, the American people. New public elections, not private corporate elections, would have been called, and life would have gone on in these United States. Instead, we have suffered over 150 years of undisclosed and illegal foreign occupation by British territorial forces, pillaging, fraud, illegal confiscation, false arrests, unlawful bills of attainder, malfeasance, pretenses of war, impersonation, and worse. We wish for all assets to be returned to the control of our lawful government and for all these municipal corporations, both former Holy Roman Empire and British Crown subcontractors, to be forfeited to us, the American principals, in consideration of the crimes they have committed against their employers in breach of trust, and against the peace that they have unlawfully trespassed. We wish for an end to all the lies and pretenses that have contributed to this situation and which have served to unjustly enrich criminals. Issued by Anna Maria Riesinger, Fiduciary. The United States of America in care of Box 520994 Big Lake, Alaska 99652. April 13, 2023.
If you enjoy having Anna's latest articles made into videos, please consider making a purchase from Ed's website sacredintuitiveelements.com. Thank you.